We have a photographer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And we're just setting up the live stream. Are we on?
Oh,
So this there is a camera.
okay.
So
Everything will be
it'll be recorded and then it will be on the internet.
good enough.
You're happy with that? And then you can share it with your friends or whatever afterwards.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And so whatever you say here, like it will live on the internet and
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Where is our audience? Cheers.
It's because it was last minute. We had no publicity or anything.
But you
so
get it. Okay, fine. The photographer. But it is
will the
good
photographer
to
come
be
or
shared.
he'll come later?
Yeah.
So should we start? Is it running? It's running.
Get a balance. We don't want men.
Okay, I think we're all set up. Okay, so I'm Rhiannon Crichton. But this is a last we're just sort of talking to ourselves. This is a very last minute thing. Grace and one of her friends came and spoke to us at the CGIAR Pavilion. They just had loads to say. We had a spare slot in the pavilion, so I just thought we should actually give you the floor. You're welcome to just say what you want. So here's the opportunity for a side event. We've titled it Partnering for Success, What Kenyan Women Farmers Want Us to Know. So this is your chance just to talk to us. We're CGIAR. We do agricultural research all over the world with smallholder farmers. But it's your chance really just to take the floor. So if everyone just goes around, introduces yourself, and then we can start. So yeah.
Well, I'm Deborah Mongina. I'm also a Kenyan, and I was glad about the discussion we had yesterday, and I would like to give you the floor probably to share your insights. Thank you.
My name is Tina Jaskolski. I'm a climate peace and security policy scientist working kind of at the intersection between climate change, peace, social cohesion, collaboration, resilience, and I'm based in Cairo, Egypt. Very nice meeting you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Grace Gitu. I am from Kenya, and I lead a small NGO called Africa Farmers Needs at Farm Level Initiative. We work with the grassroots small-scale farmers. We have small organizations. They come into small groups like 20, and then they have a reader. They are scattered all over the country. And then all those groups decided that I become their reader so that I can be getting information for them and then disseminate it to them. And we share our challenges and look for where we can get help. So we are here because we think you hold our help. We can discuss how you can make it a reality to us. Thank you.
My name is Jane. I work with women from the grassroots, women and youth, and in the rural areas, women and youth. So the most challenges the women have in the rural areas, there is no water, and there is remarriages for the young girls because of the poverty. So there is a big challenge is in women in the rural areas where they need funding or they need something which can help them because there is a lot of the poverty is arising in a very big way, and so it's something which is not coming good to the community because it is coming higher and higher in Laikipia and in Kajiado. It is coming higher in Marsabit, North Marsabit, in northern Kenya. It is rising. The poverty is rising. So for women and girls, how can we protect women and girls? Especially, we need to protect women and girls. Water. When a woman doesn't have water in the community, there is no water in the community, I think life, there is a big challenge in life because when there is not water, about the children, about the women, they normally go to get like 5 kilometers to go and fetch water. Sometimes they get like 20 liters. The whole day you are walking, searching where you can get the water. So they have a very big challenges, women from the grassroots. So that is what we are combating there in those areas, so we can see how we can help these people help the people, the community, because of those challenges they are having. And about education is also very down there. They don't go to school. Some of them, they go to school, some they don't go to school because of the poverty. And when there is no education, and I don't see their life can move on, because education must be there. So many girls in Kenya, they get earlier marriages, and because of the poverty. And the people who are getting the marriage is like a man of having, like, it's a tradition of a Maasai, and he can marry 3 girls at a time, and she have a wife, and he's an old man, like he's like 70 years. You can find a man of 70 years, like 60 years, marrying a young girls. And these young girls, after they get children, he can't be able to take care of the children. They didn't go to school, so there is a big trouble in their life. So we are trying to combat that. Girls, they should go to school, to build school, and to have water, so that they can get a strategy of life. So that's what we are combating on those northern Marsabit, in Kajiado district, in Laikipia. So that's what I'm doing there in Laikipia, of which it is challenging me because of the funding. They need funding. They need a project where we need to put a project of water where they can get water. And when they get water, these people, I'm telling you very sure, they can do something because in their life. They can do about farming, about irrigation. They can do about farming, about cows. They can do farming because they have a big land. There is a big land, but the water is not there. But if they can get the water in those areas, I think they can be able to stay a stable life, because when they can still have a project of irrigation. They can do irrigation. They can also like chickens. About chickens, we like chickens, a project of chickens. Normally Kenyans women, we do chickens a lot in the farming, and they are doing very well, very well. And we also do fish ponding for women. We also do fish ponding, which also help women a lot. And the women's, when they get that fish ponding, they helps themselves. They will be able to take their children to school. They will be able to be a good, their life will change. At least they will have a change of life when they get this water. That is the big challenge they have in rural areas in
Jane?
Kenya.
I want to ask Grace some questions. We were talking to Grace yesterday about your smallholder farming situation. I was really impressed with how you even came to COP in the first place. Do you want to just tell us like what motivated you from your role when you're on the ground? What actually motivated you to come to COP? I'm just aware of a time limit, and I just want you to get to say what you want us to know, why you're at COP. What did you want us to know?
Okay, COP. I got interested in COP 16 because I saw it's talking about desertification, which is related to the land degradation. And that is one of the biggest challenge that the small-scale farmers are having. Eh? So you realize that most of them, the yield they realize from their farms are below maybe 2% of the recommended recommended yields that come from the scientists. So some of the challenges that why we are told that some of the challenges that cause this is maybe they are not managing the varieties well, but I don't think that is actually the real problem. First of all, let me put it this way. If you go and see a doctor, the doctor treats you. you can get well. Or the medicine you are given can bring other complications or can do nothing. You remain the same. So we look at you, the researchers, as the doctors. And the many things that you are doing to us, some of them are making us better, others are leaving us where we are, and others are making it more complicated. Yes. Now, the complicated ones are more than the ones that are making us better. Because you come, for example, small-scale farmers are not the same. They are of different categories. There are those low ones who know nothing, and they need to be supported. And the livelihood, the way they farm it that way, and they believe that is the best way. So their youths continue being small. All the challenges that are coming around the climate change, the diseases, and what have you, when they come, some of them do not access help. And first of all, when those problems comes, the first person to see them is the farmer. For example, if there's an emerging disease, the first person who is going to see it is the farmer. Before the farmer knows where to get help, the disease has already spread, or because you have to ask your neighbor, have you seen this? Have you seen that? By the time that it is known so that we can seek for help, a lot of damage has been done. When you bring in a new variety, the way where we find the challenge is, you come and find our crops probably are very low yielding. And then you think that we want a new variety that is high yielding, which is good. But the problem we have is that, first of all, you don't work with us, the small scale farmers, to find out why those varieties are so low yielding and how we can improve them together. So you find that you go back to your laboratories, work on a better variety that you think it's good for us, and then you bring it to us. The challenge with that, first of all, they are highly demanding. They require a lot of fertilizer, pesticides, and all that we are not used to. So by the time we bring it to our field, sometimes it does not give us the yield that we wanted, or the one that you exposed to us when you are doing the experiment. So when you walk away, the crops, we are unable to continue, and then sometimes we drift back to where we were, or you see now that problem has not been solved, yeah? That's why I said you can solve, you can complicate, or leave us the same. So now, where we are now, it's like we are mixed, yeah? But the small scale farmers are just like where they were, or sometimes it is complicated even more. Then the other big challenge is you are crop breeders, so you bring a better variety. She's talked about water. People of water will also come to us and tell us stories about water. Others will come and tell us stories about climate change. We are the same farmers being bombarded with a lot of information from so many people. We get confused. So we want you people to work together where you are. By the time you are coming to us, you have a package that we take so that we can move together. Because that you realize you can give us a very good variety. For example, maybe let me look at maize, because Kenya maize is a staple food. So you have come up with a very good maize variety, very high yielding. You've given us, maybe when you are doing your testing, it was very good. And we saw the yields were good and we adopted the variety. But then now, maybe there are some attributes that are not very good to us. Sometimes we want maize that has leaves for our animals, that has a stem that we can use it for firewood, okay, those attributes, we look at them and we like them. So when your product, you came to us, but lacked those other attributes that we liked, so we will not be able to move on with it. But if you worked with us, we'd tell you, this is the kind of maize that we want, so that by the time you are doing it, we are working together. And if we feel that it is not good, we'll tell you why we want the maize. First of all, ask us, why are you growing maize? Because of what we call in our country, ugari. And then that maize stuff that we do it. Then now, the other thing is that when you are burning these maize, probably the stalk, it's called the maize stalk. Eh? So when we remove it, now we understand, we are being told by the climate conservation, yeah, nature conservation, that we should retain it in the field, maybe because of soil sustainability. Yeah? So now we get confused. Again, we are told that this maize is good. It will give you stock for your firewood and all that. Now again, we are being told to retain it there. So that confusion sometimes makes the small scale farmer not be able to adopt your variety quickly. The other challenge is most of the farmers are women. Women are workers in the field. They are mothers taking care of everybody, and they also nature. Now, a woman feeds the children, feed the babies, the growing children, and the husbands, the big one. And their foods are different. So when they are growing, she's there. So when you are, okay, she's it.
My name is Catherine Moimet from Kenya. Thank you.
Yes.
Continue first.
So what I was saying is that most of the small scale farmers are women. And women are workers, they are mothers, and they nurture. So when we are producing our food, we produce food that is suitable for the babies. Then we know what the babies want. So the food we are producing, we know these categories for babies. Then we have the one for growing children. And then we have the other one for the men, our husbands, yeah. So when you come in, you don't look at that. So you come and tell us, now let's grow this maize. The maize is very good, but you also wanted the bananas for the children. And now our husbands, maybe they eat another category of variety. So all those social aspects, you don't take them into consideration. That's why we are saying that when you are deciding that now we want to help you people, we work together. Now, the other thing is that, okay, we have been taught about gender responsiveness. Now, if some of the varieties that you are bringing to us, they require a lot of management. Maybe sometimes we are being told they are tools for planting, sprayers for spraying. Now, one of the challenge, I look at those equipments. Those equipments, some of the women, like her, she cannot be able to put those tools in. You are helping us. It's an innovation, but it's too difficult for the woman too. Why don't you make simpler ones? Talk to us and tell us that we are bringing something, then we tell you to make simpler ones. Look at the sprayers, the hard sprayers, because they are the ones that we use. A woman, we are unable to carry them. Yeah? They are too heavy for us. Secondly, the women are too short. So when you are spraying, the insecticide is coming to you. So you are considering on the man who is tall. So they are good innovations, but they are not meeting our needs. So those are some of the things that we need to look at. Now, okay, let me stop there.
Fine, I will talk about modern farming. A long time ago, we used to harvest maize. We didn't have the silos. So we hung it on the house, the kitchen, to dry up. And it will stay for even 1 year or until the next harvest without any weevils inside. The same with the vegetables. Vegetables, we take it from the shamba, from the garden, and then we dry them, and then we put in the sack. We put up there in the kitchen. It will stay for 1 year. That is our modern. But now that modern has gone. Where people are bringing what we call the modern style. So I'm thinking we go back to the modern times. We eat things that will not make us sick, because we used to eat arrowroots, medicine from the garden, and nobody's sick. So I think we go back to our roots. Yes.
I just want to ask from our side what you're saying. You know, we have the innovations and the technologies. From your side, I mean, there's a whole social situation that we need to understand. When it comes to what we are good at, like which is sort of innovations, what do you need? I mean, you just said actually some of the old ways are better, and that's true or perfectly legitimate. I mean, if this, the way the whole system works, we have some money from governments to help farmers. So what should we be doing to help farmers, and what would you say?
Okay, thank you. Okay, what I think is that we are not challenging the work you are doing. You are doing very good work, because we know that a lot of things have happened that are good. We are not saying that you are doing bad things. Yes, but what you'd want is that, what would you say? When you decide to help us, talk to us, yeah? If you come and decide that if it's low yielding, of course, even us, we want high yielding varieties. Talk to us so that we can be part of it and tell you where it works best for us. Instead of working so hard, spending a lot of money to come up with a product that stays in your shelves. We have not achieved anything. But if we worked together, if we feel that this is not working well, then we change together. So by the time we own it, we feel part of it, and it will become more adoptable and they will help us. Because if you look at the work you have done so far, especially in Africa or Kenya, we shouldn't be having food insecurity. Yeah, like I see in Kenya, you have over almost 300 varieties of maize released. But if you go to the community, they are using less than 10. Yeah, why? Why did you waste a lot of time producing 200? Every year you are releasing varieties. This is not necessary. Then the other thing, now let's talk about this desertification issue. I'm assuming that the desertification is our land now becoming graded, tending to get to desertification. Now, the challenge is when the farmers are growing, let's talk the small scale farmers, we always arrange our crops. We know that during the rainy seasons, these are the crops that we use. When there is a dry season, these are the crops that cover us until that other time. So now it has come that you have come and told us that let's all grow these new varieties, wipe out our security, those that the gap crops that help us to go through the dry season. So these new varieties, they are vulnerable to changes of the climate. Yeah. So if we can't afford to put good fertilizer, the yield become very low. So sometimes we feel better that old one of ours, because even with the bad situation, we still harvested something. These ones, when they are hit by drought, dead everything. Yeah. So we feel like it were better we retained with that. And if you would walk around the small scale farmers, nobody plant the new varieties only. You still put a portion for security for you. Not that we don't like this one, but we doubt this one is so vulnerable. So if it fails, we are all gone. Now the other challenge is about awareness. Sometimes farmers share a lot of information among themselves. So a progressive farmer will go for the better varieties faster than us, because as we have to watch and see what is good. So when maybe some of us, when they are working there, they go and get seeds. They come in and plant in their fields, which is, if it was a hybrid and then you come and plant, it doesn't look like you're a progressive farmer. So you see now also that one discourages the farmer. So I think awareness is not there. After working with the I've seen awareness is not there about the good thing. I know it's the government role to do that, but you also understand the challenges the governments are having. They don't have resources. So it is like today they tell us it's demand driven. So if you want, go and look for the information. So where are you going to, how will they come to COP16 to get the information? So you see, that is another challenge. So what we would want from you, we want to work, we want to feed ourselves, we want not to be self-reliant. Work with us from the ground, let's work together, produce what is suitable to us, so that even when you are gone, we'll be able to move on. But if you come with your science, your laboratory things like that one there and bring to us, then it will only be in your mind, it is good, but when you are gone, the projects go away. And we keep saying, this one is for Deborah, and she went away. So you see, we have not achieved anything. It's not only crop. Look like avocado. Avocado is really being popularized in Kenya, which is a very good thing. But how are the women benefiting? A woman cannot climb up the tree to go and harvest the avocados. They will not be able to carry that big road to move it. So what we would want is, can we train them to make, maybe even if it is oil? I think oil, avocado oil is becoming very popular. The rejects that are not bought, the men do not go away with. They can collect those small ones, and then when they are ready, they go and make avocado. We train them to do avocado oil. Nowadays, we are talking of natural oils, yes? Avocado oil is recommended as good. So let the men take the heavy roads, then the rejects, we make avocado oil that is going to help the women. A lot of the women are suffering. They are not benefiting from your innovation. That is one of the challenges that we are seeing.
To add on that, some parts of my group, we still use the modern kind. The seeds like potatoes, we keep the small ones and then we replant it again. So it grows very well. Even millet, we do that like that, but it grows very well. We don't go to the scientists to ask for anything. We just recycle the same and it is growing very well. Potatoes, even maize for 3 months, we can do that. You look for the good quality and then you plant again. Thank you.
Okay, to add on that, we as Kenya now, where we are looking for, we have to go back to organics, to the organics food. We went to, long time ago, our mommy was, we were using the organics food. We were eating things from the garden and there was no fertilizer. They were not, and it was a nice food. So it was a special food and it was helping them a lot because even they could not get disease or anything. So what to add that, I would like to go back to organic so that and to prevent also our soil so much. They were using the powder, the links of the cow to make the soil look fat. The garden will look fat. They will get maize. They will get fruits. They will get cassava, sweet potatoes, and it was a good shamba. We called it shamba. It was a good food. Organics was a very good food because, and the soil was nice. The soil was making the soil was making things to come out quickly and to come out nicely. So what I would say about the soil, this maize called GMO maize. I don't this maize we are going to make it because it is not good for us because it can spoil the soil. It can spoil the soil and we don't see that one we can make it we can make it. But when we go back to organic and do what we have been doing when they were our parents, when we were broughting us up, I see that one we can go back to that one. We can make it because Kenya, there is a big land, there is a lot of land where people can do farming. It's only that the strategy of that working of farming. So that one we can do it because many women in Kenya for now, they normally work in farm. They normally work in farm and business because we have so many single parents in Kenya and they normally work in farms and do small businesses. That's what they normally do. So when they get how they can do about farming, when they get water, they can do about irrigation farming, and they will be able to put their children to the school. They will be able to do things for themselves. So that's what I can add about that.
One thing I can say, in our place, we put cows on the one half an acre. They stay there for like 6 months. We do rotation. And then after a while, we dig this, we cultivate the same. We get a lot of yield. And then we rotate like that. The shamba will be fertile. Yes.
I wanted to give the floor to
Thank you so much for sharing. I think it's very rich experience, and it's great to hear from you directly how you're experiencing this. It seems like you're really asking for more co-design from the beginning, right? So I wanted to understand a little bit more, how and where do you interact with researchers now? I mean, you said they come and bring, so you're just seeing the finished product on the market, or are there researchers who come and test something in your area, or how are you interacting with researchers at the moment? Are they contacting your organization in any way, or would you like to interact with them more to try things on your land together? Or how would you how would you ideally imagine this interaction with researchers?
Okay, the researchers are there and they have open days.
Answer that. You can combine the question. You specifically mentioned the CGIAR, so I would like maybe you can identify like where you interacted with the CGIAR and what were the shortcomings and what exactly you need addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. CGIARs always have open days, or there are very many research stations in Kenya. So each of them usually have open days. So they invite the public to go around and see what they are doing. Then we go there, we see their good things, they tell us good stories. And then we sometimes we buy what they have displayed. Sometimes we just say, I don't want to be frustrated again. So we cannot say that we don't know what is happening. Our only challenge is, why are you deciding for us? Why don't you come? We work with you from the beginning, see what our challenge is. Maybe you have already produced a bean variety, for example, like there's a bean variety. You want to introduce it to us, but probably we didn't want a bean. Maybe you wanted another crop, like maybe cowpeas. So you came and thought that these people, they need a legume. So you went and produced a very nice legume. But it's okay, but probably that is not what you'd have wanted if you asked us. You'd have wanted a cowpea. Yeah, because they are both legumes. Probably that is what is suitable to us. Why don't you start with us first? Come, we have a discussion. Let the proposal not come from you. Let us be at the center and tell you that this is what we want, and then you guide us on the science aspect. But don't tell us, don't go and start spending a lot of money on something that probably that is not what we wanted. The other challenge is about market, the market system. You see, you can bring a very high yielding variety. Okay, we adopt it because it is good, but where is the market? So we have used a lot of resources. Maybe I sold my chicken, my cow to be able to buy the inputs it wants, the product wants. But now I have my 10 bags of, or 40 bags, like you have said, I have them there. So where do I take that? So we want a package, right? This variety is high yielding. When you grow it, you take it there. Or let the market be organized. I don't want to maybe I start looking for a store to put I don't have a store. Yeah, the maize gets spoiled because I'm used to producing 5 bags. You have given me a very high yielding variety, which is producing 40 bags. I have no store to keep it. So I have to go to another cost of building a store. I start looking for the market. Why don't you discuss outside there? You bring for us a package that this is high yielding. This is where you'll sell. Yeah, this is where so that it is continuous. But if I harvest high yielding and then I keep it in the store there, maybe my store is semi-structural, maybe it starts raining, it gets spoiled, I'm back to where I was. That's why I say you are not getting healed. Yeah, you are becoming complicated. So what we want is you people can you give us a package? By the time you are coming to us, a food package, so that We don't, once you are gone, we don't say this is Deborah's product and we go, yeah. And then we don't. That is the biggest, that is what that is why we are always food insecure. Because if my 40 bags that I worked so hard, I have nowhere to sell. Then it gets spoiled. It is insects have attacked it. The other farmers are laughing at me. Oh, you thought you are better than us. Now you see, yeah, it becomes a cycle of problems. Now on the desertification, because that is the degradation. I told you that when you are working with you, we get very high yields because there are some people who come to do trials in our fields and we get very very high yields. Maybe because you are there and you are directing everything. But once you go, our harvest starts now going down, 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 and down. So when you go back to our Deborah again, let me use you because you're, so you tell her, now I cannot realize the yield that you told me. Yeah, because you are not using the management I told you. Then you ask, what is that? You know, like I think sometimes you exaggerate, or maybe because you have free inputs, so you can put as much as you want. But a farmer also look at these inputs are they cost effective? Will I get, okay, we are also business people, those smaller. So we are in business. So if I grow, I want whatever I'm producing to be able to cover the cost of what I produced. So that is why you find people get discouraged. But if you worked with you straight from when you're producing that product, we find where the market will be and connect us to that market so that before you start now telling us buy, we already know where that product is going. But when you walk away happy that you bring your friends, oh, you see our variety is doing well with the farmers. Yeah, it's true, you have succeeded. But what does the farmer do with the yield? That is the biggest challenge. So if you can be bringing for us a package, and you know, if you are working together with you, you would have told us where the market is first, so that when I produce this, I know where to take it. Because it's not just a battle of producing and having a lot. Yeah. The other thing is, by the time you are doing that, also consider how we live, yeah? So maize is good, but don't encourage us to also discard our security crops that help us to get through the difficult period, so that if the climate change, at least we have something we are used to. Then the other thing I think people now need to be trained a lot is about organic waste use. Yeah, because you see now, we have been previously, maybe before the many things happened, people used to put the organic waste, kitchen waste, everything you throw in the field. Yeah. But now came people who are now taking away, even in the villages, they are coming to take away the organic waste and going away with it. So you see now, the fields are being left, you know, it's like depleting, removing everything and going away with it. So our soil is becoming poorer and poorer. So we want train. You see, people think when you come and take away my organic waste and give me something small, they feel nice, yeah? But again, you know, you are removing the good things from your soils. So we want that to stop. But the only way you can do is now sensitize the farmers, let them know that this organic waste and the crop residues, they should remain there. Don't burn what you don't want. Then there is also the challenge. In Kenya, the season, there are some areas with 2 seasons. So the one with the 2 seasons, you find that there is a very short gap between harvesting and planting. So you find less than a month. So what happened? The farmers are forced to cut out the harvested product. But there are other people who come and buy, you know, they want to buy those harvested, the harvested byproduct, you know, they want to go away with it. So we need to sensitize our farmer, don't sell. Yeah, don't sell. Leave it there. But you see now, I was reading about, I went to another session, we are being taught about making biochar. So I was thinking if farmers can be trained about biochar, instead of selling your maize stock to people who are taking it away, so if you can be trained to make biochar, even if it is the youth around, they can be making it for you, then you enrich it with your kitchen manure so that next time you'll have fertilizer to use in your field, instead of selling to people who come with lorries, taking away all your. So those are some of the challenges we are going through. So
I have, in our place, In our place, we have a lot of honey, but we sell the purified honey, but value addition, we need a lot of capacity building to teach value addition. So people don't know. They only sell the purified honey. Wax, we don't know how to use it to value the value addition. Yeah, we need a lot of capacity building. Yeah.
Just want to say we've got 10 minutes left. So Tina, Deborah, if you've got any more questions, Andre in the audience. Yeah, Andre's got a question.
Thank you. And my sincere apologies for being late. I was in another meeting, but I can write a thesis in what I've heard in the last couple of minutes. I want to respond to your question for co-design, but also your comments with regards to markets. Now, sorry, I'm Andre van Rooyen. I work with ICRISAT, and I've worked in Zimbabwe and Ethiopia for many years. And I work a lot with innovation platforms and the co-design that you're requesting. But to me, the co-design should include the market. It's not just a co-design process between farmer and the supplier of the technical knowledge. It's also the market, because you need to sell those products to the market. So the co-design should be a multi-party arrangement between farmers, markets, and science and input supply and extension. So that becomes a very complex process, but it is critical that we got to get your voice heard, because we can say it as scientists and people say blah, blah, blah. You just want to sugarcoat your research by saying farmers are telling us to do this. So I'm not sure how do we get that message out to the right people, because unfortunately there's nobody here. And that's the sad part of it, is that one of the most powerful messages are not heard. And I think we need to find a way to make that more clear. What is the message? The co-design by the whole system, not just scientists and farmers, but I want to stress the interaction between farmers and markets. I heard post-harvest losses, and I've been saying for a long time, it's actually quite funny that when people talk about post-harvest losses, they want to build silos and train farmers how to prevent post-harvest losses. But the real problem is there's no market. All right. Post-harvest, the primary cause of post-harvest losses is the absence of markets. But we're not working at markets when we talk about post-harvest losses. So the complexity of the system is what you were talking about, echoed by you. But it's very difficult to get that message out. And I heard your voice, but we need to find a platform for that voice, because that co-design is critical. Beekeeping is something that's very interesting to me. When I joined the CGIAR 20 years ago, we worked in Kenya, in the northern parts on beekeeping. And we found that the product that is the most profitable was not the honey, it's the wax.
Yes.
And finding export markets of that wax to Europe, because in the northern parts of Kenya, it was essentially organic. Right? So organic wax is extremely valuable. So with honey, it's not necessarily a function of adding value. It is in fact trying to keep it as pure as possible before you, and the export markets are there. I mean, Ethiopia is full of honey. We need to find a way in which to market honey. So it's not a production problem, it's a market problem again. Yeah, there's many other things that I heard that is really fascinating, but yeah, thank you very much for your contributions.
Thank you so much. I think another interesting thing you said is about taking the risk, right? I mean, there's a new variety, scientists are claiming it's good, and you as a farmer have to really take a risk to try that, right? You said you're selling your chicken, you're selling your cow, you're buying the seed. What if it doesn't work? So how can we as scientists also work on maybe not leaving farmers alone so much with this individual risk of actually testing this, trying this. Maybe this is something we also need to give a bit of thought, right? Yeah.
That's a very, very important point, and it's something that I've been talking a lot, and it's strange that it just come up again today. In the CG, we spend a lot of time predicting droughts. Our early warning systems are all there to predict droughts, but I've been challenging all my colleagues that work on drought prediction is forget droughts. There's very little we can do when the drought is coming. Predict good seasons. And it's the good seasons that can help farmers reduce risk. Because if we can predict a good season, which we can now, we can predict good seasons, but we don't think about predicting good seasons. So it's in the good seasons that we can say, okay, let's drop the interest rates on the loans because we know it's going to rain. And if farmers are buying the right seeds, the right quality, the right fertilizer, because we know we're going to get a good rainy season, let's change the mental model around how we look at agriculture and push the good seasons and stop worrying about the dry season, the droughts, because there's very little you can do about a drought. We know it's coming, but there's very little we can do. So part of the risk management lies in access to credit, access to good inputs, but in good years. It's that good years that we need to predict to reduce the risk. Sorry, let me just say one other thing. On the 11th, Ikrisat and I will lead that session. We have a very wild thought on getting the CGIAR to grow perennial crops. So we don't have to plant every year. We don't have to buy seed every year. And those perennial crops can respond to early rain. And that's one of the reasons we dream of these crazy things is to manage risk. And perennial cereals and perennial legumes could just fill that gap. So on the 11th, if you're interested, we'll be talking about that.
Okay, thank you. I think it's a good idea to have perennial crops, but I hope we are not working in the lab. You first of all come and work with the farmers so that they can, they are aware and they like it. Because you see, like what she said, cows are kept in one area, then the next season they are moved to the other area, that place now becomes a farm. So you see now, if you bring a perennial crop that will not come there, will not be moved, then that also can be a challenge. So it is good to work with the farmers so that the farmers have accepted that and they move on. Now, another challenge we are also encountering. I think nowadays seed companies or private people are also maybe competing with you, I don't know. So they are also producing their own new varieties and innovations, and the way they expose them, you know, for them, maybe they have a lot of money, or I don't know, because they can move all over. So they come to the farmers, maybe like they can call us to a few days and tell us this very good variety, give us coffees and t-shirts and what. Yeah. So, and is it incentives? So that also makes the farmer to rush very fast to those incentives, because you are given some seeds plus some a bag, an umbrella, and all. So, and there's nothing wrong because they're in business. So farmers quickly take up those seeds, yeah, because the private sector have come and given them. But it ends there, because for them, the farmers will buy, and now the farmers go and start doing it in their own way, the way they understand best, but there is no follow-up. So that also discourages the sustainability of such. Maybe you have to talk about your other breeders so that by the time you're introducing the product to the farmers, it is a well thought idea so that it does not distort them. Some of them will even plant their trials by the roadsides, which they have excessively used inputs, and the farmers sometimes get attracted to that. So we think that you people as breeders, wherever you meet, you discuss so that you don't. Oh, okay, yeah. So it is good to discuss that and so that you don't, we are the farmers, the private sector, you come to us, the public sector, you come to us, so that we reduce the confusion that is getting to us. Now, the other thing is value addition. So if we can be able to support farmers on value addition, so that you don't sell your products when they are If it is honey, we can be supported to package it at our own level instead of people coming with the big containers and go away with our honey, or even if they are those like avocados, let's make like oil, yeah. And then be gender sensitive. Whenever you are coming up with an innovation, think of the women who are the biggest farmers. Some of those innovations are not, women cannot handle them. Yeah. And like I've just told you about the sprayers. Yeah. Yeah. You are spraying and everything is getting into your mouth. The sprayer is also very heavy. They gave this manual planter. A woman will not, a small woman will not be able to do that. Yeah. And then look at the value chain. How do we, in this product, how will the women be involved? How will the youth be involved? And how will the others be involved? Because if you don't look at that chain, there'll be, if there's a break, it will still not be successful. Because if the women cannot handle it, it will not work. If the youth are finding it useless, it will still not work. I like what he has said. I think now you call it precision agriculture. If I'm doing vegetables, why should I come with the whole thing and put water all over? Why can't you calculate the amount of water that our small vegetables will require so that it goes direct with them?
The recording's going to stop, so it's 4:30, so we should also stop, I guess. But honestly, you could just keep talking. There's so many issues. It's been such